Boom, welcome back Saxons. It's me, Coach Javi again. I hope you guys are all doing well. In this video, we'll be going over three things. We'll be going over the upper body exercises, the core exercises, and the 2 PFT exercises you guys have been assigned in your programming. Let's jump into it. Okay guys, first up we have the classic push-up to work out our tricep and pectoral muscles. Now hand placement can vary depending on which muscle you want to focus on, but for instruction's sake we'll place our hands slightly wider than shoulder width apart and directly in line under our shoulders. Our core and glutes have to be engaged, tilting the hips forward to straighten the back while executing the exercise. Feet together, and you can keep your head either straight down at the floor, bent slightly, or entirely up, whichever is most comfortable for you so long as it isn't bent down, limiting your range of motion, which must be all the way down to the ground and all the way up to the top of the movement, reached when the elbows lock. Most importantly, ensure that your elbows are bent out at no more than 30 degrees and your shoulder blades squeeze together on the descend but spread apart on the ascend of the movement. If the conventional push-up is too difficult for you to complete, use something like a chair, bench, desk, or ledge to modify the elevation, changing the weight you are pushing. Continue to follow the previous instructions for the conventional push-up as you progress to more difficult elevations. Next, for the upper body, we have the dumbbell shoulder press, and in this case, the Arnold shoulder press variation of the movement. Lift the weight and hold it in front of its corresponding side shoulder with the palms facing towards you to achieve the starting position. Keep the wrist as straight as the forearm as possible. Shoulder blades push forward to position the shoulder head forward. From here, press the weight straight up as you rotate the arm to finish with the palm facing away from you at the top of the movement, while also retracting the shoulders on the ascent. Since I know a lot of you guys don't have weights at home, anything that's between 5 to 15 pounds that can be ergonomically lifted will suffice. Here we have what I think is pronounced the Supine March exercise. It's a very easy core and stabilization exercise, and if you ever got messed up and had to go to physical therapy like me, you may have done this exercise at some point. Anyway, lie flat on your back and engage your core, placing your fingers at your pelvis bones, which should be tilted forward and stabilized to maintain your back flat on the deck. Bend your legs and elevate your toes off the deck, raising alternating legs in a slow and controlled manner. Wait until one leg reaches the ground, pause, and then move the other one. Another simple core and stabilization exercise are bird dogs. Begin by getting on your knees and hands, ensuring your arms and legs are perpendicular with the deck and that your back is straight and neutral from your head down to your tailbone. Extend one arm forward and straight while simultaneously doing the same with the opposite side leg. Keep the arm at shoulder height and the extended leg in line with the hips, being careful not to extend past these points, and rinse and repeat on the other side. On to more difficult core exercises, we have here Russian twists. Begin by taking a seat on the floor, bend your legs so that your thighs and your core make a 90-degree angle and bring your heels slightly off the deck. Rotate your body so that your shoulders move towards being square with the side of your body, getting as much range of motion as you can. Here I'm hitting my hands on the floor as I hit the end of rotation. That's entirely optional, I just find it helps me emphasize the full twist I need to hit my range of motion. I also recommend taking a slower tempo to familiarize yourself with the movement if you find yourself rocking a lot when increasing the speed. Next, we have the Flutter Kicks, as I'm sure many of you remember. Begin by laying on the ground, turn your hands into fists and place them underneath your butt. To assume the starting position, you will first raise your feet 3 inches above the deck, point your toes straight, engage the core, and begin alternating, lifting your legs a good 12 inches above the starting point, raising the other leg simultaneously as you lower the other. Lastly, maintain your head above the deck while you complete the exercise. Now leg lifts are going to be similar to Flutter Kicks. Lay on the ground, turn your hands into fists and place them underneath your butt. Raise your feet 3 inches above the deck, and this time simultaneously raise both legs up as close as you can to making a 90-degree angle with your core and your legs, aiming for the contraction of your core as your legs reach the top of the movement. Same as the Flutter Kicks, maintain your head above the deck while you complete this exercise. Here we have the seated single or double bent leg raises. Seat yourself on the ground and bend your legs at around a 100 or a 120 angle. Retain the leg angle and lift your legs either alternatively or simultaneously, hence the double in the title. If you are flexible, you can extend your arms farther and increase the difficulty. Moving on to more difficult core and stability exercises, we have here the shoulder taps. Begin by getting into push-up position, but instead of feet together, we're going to put our feet shoulder width apart. Shift your weight forward into your hands and begin the exercise by lifting your hand and tapping the alternate shoulder. Make sure your hips remain nice and square during the exercise by engaging the pelvis forward with your glutes and core activated. You want to be able to balance an object like an upside down cup or a shoe on your back while executing this exercise. Lastly, we have plank ups. Begin by assuming the push-up position. From there, lower down into a plank position by shifting from your hands to your forearms on the deck. Keep the forearms parallel with each other as you assume this position. From here, reverse the movement by pushing up back into the starting push-up position. Most important part here, like the shoulder taps, is that your hips remain square with your body by engaging the pelvis forward with your glutes and core activated. Same concept, you should be able to balance an object on your back as you do this exercise. Okay guys, here's the first exercise event of the Saxon Regiment PFT, an exercise I designed myself to simulate muscle tension when doing a horns up. I call it the Bent Arm Dumbbell Isometric Hold. It is a timed event that utilizes 10 pounds of weight to be held by both hands. Place the feet shoulder width apart, don't lock your knees, pelvis tilted up with the glutes and core engaged, elbows squared with the body, and place the weight directly in front of eye level, which should always be facing straight to the horizon. Keep the weight 2 fist distance from your eyes, maintain the weight at your eye level for as long as you can. Once your delts can't hold it at that position and it drops to your chin, your form is considered broken, and that is the end of 1 rep of the isometric hold. Just like the Arnold shoulder presses, improvise with ergonomic objects at home that weigh close to 10 pounds if you don't have any weights. The last exercise after the run in the PFT is the plank. To perform the plank, drop down to the ground on your forearms, which must remain parallel with each other throughout the hold of the exercise. You cannot put your hands together and make an arrow with your forearms during the hold. Your back must remain completely flat by engaging the glutes and the core throughout the entirety of the plank. If your butt is too high or dips down below, that is a break of form and concludes the exercise. Alright guys, I have one more exercise for you. An extreme movement I can't even demonstrate for you. I'm not even sure if I'd survive if I try. It has only been performed once in the history of mankind by S-Class PT Super Saiyan God-level hero, the General himself. Luckily, I captured the moment, and if you train hard enough, maybe one day you too can execute this extremely difficult movement. Let's roll the footage. Alright Saxons, so that is a wrap for this video. You guys now have all the knowledge needed to properly execute the upper body, the core, and the PFT exercises assigned to you. Good luck on your training, and I will catch you guys in the next video.